my dear viewers, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our special coverage. Egypt have now issued a statement praising the initiative by U.S. President Donald Trump, prioritizing dialogue to solve or find a solution, a breakthrough out of the crisis in the Middle East. And to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, General Osama Kabeer, Counselor in the Command and General Staff College and the strategic expert. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Amal. How are you?
General Kabeer, Egypt have issued, the Foreign Ministry in Egypt have issued a statement after the statements of U.S. President Donald Trump calling for taking benefit of the initiative introduced by U.S. President Donald Trump, prioritizing dialogue. How did you read the statement by the Foreign Ministry?
Yes, ma'am. As usual, like Egypt is trying to seek the peaceful resolutions for what's happening within the Middle East in the last couple and a half years. And as you can see, that the Egyptian political leadership has conducted something that we can say the shuttle tours to the GCC area, to KSA, to UAE, to Qatar, to Bahrain, in order to find out the very, very quick and reasonable resolutions to end such a scourge that hit in the area since the 28th of February this year. And that's why the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt, Mr. Badr Abdel-Ati, he praised that, and he said that Egypt recognized and praised such a good speech came out from Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, to try to give a breath to the officials to see what we can do within the very near future as to end this war, which is certain now is enlarging a little bit by bit, and as you can see, the escalation in the area went too high, too quick, and too speed within the last 5 or 6 days. So yes, yes, Egyptian Foreign Minister is praising that in a very formal speech, as you just said now.
Yes, in the statement also of the Foreign Ministry issued now also that Egypt is following with concerns the strikes and completely rejecting the strikes taking place in the Middle East on the Arab and the Gulf countries, and saying that it should preserve its sovereignty and territorial integrity, and that the security of the Arab countries is part of the national security of Egypt. How did you read this?
Right. It's from the beginning that the Egyptian political leadership, yes, as well as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, it's not only we rejected that, we denounced that, and we condemned that too. Because the GCC countries are not involved in that, and in such a case that the Iranians are retaliating on the United States posts and military bases within the GCC country, that doesn't mean that you hit like civil targets within the cities and towns within the GCC country. We heard that in Riyadh, happened in Doha, in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, in Bahrain, in Manama itself. So we rejected, we condemned, and we denounced that. And if you remember that something like a couple of weeks ago, the Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, he called the Egyptian political leadership in the trial to get to a point of rapprochement or a point of reconciliation or compromise, whatever you want to call it. And by that time, the Egyptian president also, he gave his vote to the Iranian president, and he condemned that, and he said some of these countries actually went too far trying to help and to mitigate the consequences of this war, and now we are striking them. This is very bad. These countries are representing what to be so-called the safety and security belt to the Egyptian national security. And if one of these countries being hurt, that subsequently will be conducted and transferred to the Egyptian national security. We are very keen and we are observing much closely and carefully what's happening there. And we are moving also within the diplomatic channel route, as I told you, just to try to end this war quickly before it blows up and being like much more in a stake situation more than it is within the meantime.
Yes, General Kabeer, also in the Foreign Ministry statement, it said that Egypt is intensifying efforts and contacts in order to contain the crisis in the Middle East and to hope for a de-escalation of the conflict. How did you read this sentence also in the statements?
Definitely, you are right, and we are intensifying the efforts and trying to crystallizing the whole viable resolutions, not only within the last month, but also from the 7th of October 2023. Because if we can read this pretty much quickly, what's happening in Iran now actually goes back to what happened in Gaza a couple and a half years ago. So yes, we are intensifying all the efforts. We are trying to exert all the power needed through the diplomatic channel routes. Try to get to the safety shore for this scourge and problem heading within the Middle East. And hey, let me tell you something that is very clearly and very purified as well. Without Egypt in this scourge since 2 years ago, I think things should be like in much more worse situation than it is now. So yes, we are having a pivotal and a very intrinsic and main role to play. We are doing that. We are exerting our efforts and doing our best trying to save the whole area. And the whole international community recognize that and they understand that. And without Egypt in the picture of what's happening, I think they would lost their compass more than they having now. So if you see, when we signed the agreement within the 15th of October in 2025, that was in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt by the attendance of the United States President. And there's something like tens of monarchies and the royal crown princes and presidents and kings within the whole world. And we held actually 2 summits, more than 4 summits within the last 4 years in trying to find a good resolution. So yes, Egypt is a pivotal country. It's a spearhead within all these negotiations, and we are keeping up our momentum to get to the end of that. Yes.
Yes. The statement by the Foreign Ministry also said it welcomed the initiative by U.S. President Donald Trump in order to postpone any, that he said, postpone any military strikes against Iranian power plants for 5 days. In addition, also, U.S. President Donald Trump said that he also said that there were 15 points in the plan to stop the war. Among them, the first 3 points is that Iran is not going to have nuclear weapons.
Yes, ma'am. If we go back to the United States administration,
the postponing first of the, yes.
Yes. Continue, please, if you still have some. All right. So if we go back to since a year and a couple of months ago, since the new United States administration took responsibility, we can see the paradoxes and the contradictions within the speeches, like in numerous and massive size. But let's say again. So yes, yesterday there was a declaration by the U.S. President that we have only 48 hours. Today we have 5 days. That's good, no problem with that. But we are asking the United States administration to stuck to this because we are going also too fast and too strongly with them trying to contain the whole situation. So I would say that this new speech by the Donald Trump himself about the 5 days and maybe to terminate all this war within 15 points in a proposal he made, like he what happened in Gaza within that past agreement, took something like 20 points. Let's say that maybe this is because they have found that the Iranian escalation is getting higher and higher. Look what happened something like 2 days ago. They hit some town which is pretty much close to the mono reactor, something like 15 kilometers away, no more, or close to that. This is very dangerous. And other two missiles they launched for something like a range of more than 4,000 kilometers. The Iranian actually, they refused that and said we didn't do it, but who could believe that? These rockets traveled something like 4,000 kilometers and went to near to what to be so called the Diego Garcia Island, where the United States put their Spirit 2, the bombers, the Spirit 2B and B-1B and the B-52.
Yes.
So now we have a new escalation from the Iranians, and now the Americans would understand that the Iranians maybe went too far and maybe they have something in their missile reserves. So they are trying now to contain that, and we are with the Americans in that. We will contain with them. Just all what you need to do within the meantime is to keep the votes and stay calm a little bit and get to the tables and open the files again and see what happened. And let's get out with this before it blasts, as I told you from the beginning. And
yes,
the heat will
yes,
like against everyone here.
Yes, General Kabeer, also the statement said that Egypt is said that we should encourage positive voices in order to find a breakthrough in this crisis, and for all parties to coordinate and consultate in order to find a breakthrough for peace to prevail in the region. So how did you follow this?
Right, and as you can see, our international political role is very positive, and it's very big. So what happens now that we are leaning now maybe on the European Union? Why not? Because we have very good and strong relationships with all Europe countries, all the political entities we have in Europe. Some of them, you know what would they say? They would say, I mean, I'm talking about what the Europeans say. They say Egypt is an unofficial member within the European Union, because they love Egypt and they understand Egypt and respect Egypt, and they would see the Egyptian momentum and paces on ground within the problems, the international problems, and specifically in the Middle East. How do we react against that? What are our performance? It's fantastic. And that's why, yes, we do encourage all the respective countries, all the countries that have the interests within the Middle East, the peaceful countries, the countries who love peace. Let's come closer to us, and let's pull all the ends, put it in one point, and to get to a quick resolution that might help the Middle East first, and Palestine and Gaza and the West Bank second, and let's go to the GCC countries, and for the benefits for everyone, you need to come up here and see you're turning out against this is what's happening. And I do understand that Europe now is against that war, and they are too perplexed and confused about what's happening, specifically after Donald Trump asking for their help. And some of them said, no, we just can't go through that because we've been not consulted from the beginning. So yes, Egypt now is showing up. It's like a bright star again. Hey, come over here and let's get back again to the table, and we'll solve that, since the American administration had declared their announcement about the 5 days and the plan of 15 points. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, General Kabeer, how do you expect this decision to impact the situation? I mean, the decision by U.S. President Donald Trump. What is the echo of this from the Iranian side, from the Israeli side? Give us your insight, please.
That's a very good question. Yeah, thank you very much for that question.
Thank you.
If you look at the Iranian echo, up till now, they didn't declare their opinion. They didn't declare their speech. They didn't give a speech about it. But yeah, they are thinking. I would say they are thinking now. Why not? Because they needed to. So about the Iran declaration, they didn't say anything. However, I still understand they put some conditions to maybe 10 days ago, because you know the actions are going too much fast, so the time now is a little bit mixing. So yeah, maybe 7 or 10 days ago, the Iranians said we will not stop this war unless at least two conditions or three conditions being conducting. First one is that.
Hello? Good. Hello? Well, that was our phono with General Osama Kabeer, counselor in the Command and General Staff College and the strategic expert. We are going to try to call him again. Actually, Egypt have, the Foreign Ministry in Egypt have issued a statement welcoming the U.S. President Donald Trump's statements. We are back with the phone with General Osama Kabeer, counselor in the Command and General Staff College and strategic expert. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, General. Yes, General Kabeer.
Conditions by Iranians.
Yes, please. Yeah.
If we continue your question.
Yes,
you said
please.
you need an international warranty or guarantee that the United States and Israel wouldn't hit again. Secondly, they said they need to pull out all their supercarriers, and here they was talking about the Gerald Ford and the Abraham Lincoln supercarriers. And thirdly, they said we need a compensation. Compensation, maybe, I'm not sure if they're asking for money or something, or to pull out some of these sanctions on the trade of oil. So these are the 3 points they have put something like 7 or 10 days ago. Today, they didn't declare up to now what are the positions towards what a proposal being provided by the President of the United States, Donald Trump. So I think in the very upcoming hours, like, we'll hear something from the Iranians, maybe from Khatam al-Anbiya, outspoken man, and let's see what will happen. But I feel a little bit comfortable about that. I would say that the Iranians would go for it, because they need to stop the war too. They've been hurt, and they lost like too many of their military assets from the economy and from the oil trade and like too many different domains. And from the Israeli perception, I would say this is against the Netanyahu aspires and perception, because if you can see what happened within the last week too. So he moved quickly to the southern of Lebanon. So when he felt that the United States administration would like to mitigate the tense, or to lower down this high tense profile within the Middle East, he went quickly to the southern of Lebanon, and he made his Commander-in-Chief Ayal Zamir to give a new declaration saying we are fighting for a long-term war, something like that. No, from the Iranians, I think we will hear pretty much soon, and from the Israelis, I think this again is their wish and desire, because Benjamin Netanyahu is facing some political problems, and if he stopped now the war, he would be asked and maybe tried by his own officials. So why did you drag yourself in such a problem like this one? Why did you drag the United States with you? Why did you say that Iran is an imminent jeopardy while we're not imminent jeopardy, as we understand? We could end that before it happens. So that's my perception about the Iranians and Israeli points of view of the Donald Trump proposal. Yes.
Yes. General Kabeer, Iranian media have said on Monday, after the U.S. President Donald Trump's statements, that there were no negotiations between Tehran and Washington after Trump have announced talks towards ending the war. What is the reason behind this? Is it that Iran is taking the privilege of that U.S. Israel have started the war, or the first strike, and by this it's only retaliating to the Israeli strikes? How do you read the Iranian response?
Right, you are right again and again. Thank you very much. You know why did they say that? They said that because they felt that they had the upper hand. Because everyone had been expecting that the American-Israeli strike against Iran will achieve the objectives pretty much quickly and in a very short time. So now we have entered the fourth week, and we see the Iranians are retaliating, and we see something like a qualitative and quantitative escalation within their missile reserve. And maybe they are having the upper hand now. They are reaching their targets. They are hitting the Israeli depth itself. And what happened to Gerald Ford about the laundry room, stuff like that, the Iranians said, no, we hit it. It's not an only fire set up there. and see what happened to Abraham Lincoln. Maybe it was hit too because it moved out of the Arabian Gulf all the way down a little bit, something like 12 days ago. So the Iranians, by that moment, the moment in time, maybe they felt they have the upper hand. But listen, behind the curtains, I would say, I do assure you, there are some negotiations, or otherwise, why did the Masoud Pezeshkian, the Iranian president, called the Egyptian political leadership? Something is happening, but when you are in a war and he's standing, as you would say, hard and tall, and you can confront what's happening, and you are now repelling back the aggression against you, they have something in their mind and their souls. They feel like now, yes, we could break the United States on the Israeli paranoia maybe, or something like that. But you are right. They said that, and as I mentioned to like a couple of minutes ago, yes.
Yes, General Kabeer, U.S. President Donald Trump said today that oil prices is going to drop like a rock as soon as there is a deal between U.S., Israel, and Iran. How do you read the latest statements concerning the global oil markets?
Right, and maybe this is the second thing the Donald Trump, President of the United States, is trying to search for, which is the oil prices, the inflation that hit quite quickly. You know how after in the third day of this war, maybe in 2nd or 3rd of March, the oil prices in Europe, for instance, we speak Europe as an example, it hit something like 15% quickly. And this is very harsh, and this is very harmful to the Europeans, as well as what happened in the United States of America, not more than a week after the 28th of February, the first strike in this war. And also the oil prices like jumped up like crazy. So, and Donald Trump, as being a businessman, originally he's a businessman, and this mentality, always speaking about and thinking about the benefits and the casualties, and that's why, yes, he would like to mitigate or to diminish this oil prices inflation struck like crazy within the whole world. And as we can see that the Iranians still controlling the Hormuz Strait.
Yes.
And if you're thinking about any other military operations, no, the Iranians are retaliating with these military operations. So I would say yes to Donald Trump this time. That was a very good speech. That was a very good proposal from you. Five days more and another plan of 15 points. This is fantastic. Let's try to get everyone here again to the table and quickly to react with that. And I would say, again, Egypt is playing a very pivotal, important, positive role as usual. And this time, it's on
yes, of course.
On the tip.
Yes, of course. General Kabeer, also today, Egypt on Monday have strongly condemned the Israeli military escalation in Lebanon, citing the deliberate targeting of pivotal civilian facilities and infrastructure. The Foreign Ministry said in a statement that such assaults are a flagrant violation of the Lebanese sovereignty and international law. How did you follow the statement of the Foreign Ministry today on Lebanon?
Again, I would say yes, we are condemning, we are denouncing, and we are rejecting all that. Not only this time, but since the Israelis tried to penetrate the southern borders of Lebanon since September 2024. And they failed, the Israelis failed, by the way, but they struck Lebanon hardly, and they have caused too many big and numerous and massive casualties within Lebanese territories, and specifically what they call the Haid, Janub Beirut, which is the southern territory of Beirut, the capital of the nation itself. Yes, we are condemning that, and we are contacting with the Lebanese officials and president, and we are sending our officials, starting from the representing Mr. Badam Ati, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and other security and diplomatic officials. They go by and visit and go back and forth, and we are contacting with the president himself, Mr. Joseph Aoun, trying to find out a quick containment for that. And we do reject the Israeli strike against Lebanon. As you can understand now, they have displaced something, the number approaches 1 million Lebanese now from the southern territory of Beirut, the capital, to the way of Sur and Saida. It's very flammable. It's like simmering area now here in Lebanon, and that's why we are condemning that. And I think this is the very next second step for the Egyptian diplomatic officials to move through after we are containing what's happening in Iran.
I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. General Osama Kabeer, counselor in the Commander and General Staff College and strategic expert. We really had the pleasure to have this phone with you. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the end of our coverage for the hour. Please stay tuned for more updates on Nile TV International. My name is Aman Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.